Hey, I'm Barubite and welcome to the next part of my EU4 tutorial series. This is, which one? Third part of this series, and in this one I'm guessing we are going to go to war and attack someone, or something else will happen, you will see. But anyway, before we do that, before we fight people, I wanted to waste maybe 5 or maybe 6 minutes talking about trade, because that's peak of my knowledge about trade even after 3000, 4000 hours. I'm just going to rush over it and tell you most important parts, and yeah, you will probably not understand anything in it, but anyway, we need to go over it. So, trade. For the trade, this one here in economic map modes, this one is the most important thing, this map mode here. And it means absolutely nothing to you. There is also another one that's trade goods, and it's so colorful, I'm going to get some seizure or something like that. But anyway, I just wanted to show this to you. You will probably not even notice it until like 500 hours into this game. But yeah, it exists. You can see it. Let's go back to trade. And these are all trade regions, and they all have trade nodes. As you can see, let's go back to political map mode so we can see everything. Poland is in, I have this shortcut here, so I'm going to use it just to avoid clicking here than here. So Poland is in Krakow trade node. Most of the Poland except Podole, I think. And Chelm, right, yeah. So this will be your main trade node where you are collecting money. You can change trade nodes, and I don't even know how to explain this, but you have two merchants, and the point of merchants is to steer all the trade towards your end node. I mean, toward the node your capital is in, towards your main node. So we have one merchant sitting here, not doing nothing, and the other one is, if we click on this, it will go through merchants. You can do the same with diplomats and missionaries. So if we click here, we can see one of them is right here. And what is he doing? Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. Well, if you click right here, you can see that some guy with strange name, I guess this is completely normal name in Poland, is transferring trade power to Krakow. So we transfer 1.13 ducats to Krakow, which will increase our income right here. So the point is, get as much trade power as you can in one trade node, and just transfer all the money into your trade node, because you can see here in total we have around 5 ducats, but 3.26 are going to Novgorod, because most of the merchants are transferring to Novgorod. You can see all of them transferring here because it's helping them, right? And we are just transferring 1.80 here. It says 1.13, but Silesia and Mazovia are helping us transferring 1.8 right here. Completely confusing. And if we click on our main node, we can see we earn 1.69 right here. But we could earn more, but the problem is this color wheel right here, and you can see Poland has only 23% of trade power. And all of these little stripes are other nations around us, and we all share the same trade income. And the point is to fill this wheel with your color. You can do that by conquering land around you, by investing in ideas, by, well, most by conquering. So I think that's all you need to know about trade. Let's see just what I'm going to do with this guy right here. We can try to transfer trade from here, but already 2.5 are going there and 0.10, so we are not getting anything. If we try here, this is out of our trade range, and that will increase over time, investing in technology and ideas, but for now we can't reach there. I mean, our merchant can't reach there. We can also try to collect from trade. We can also do that in any trade node in range, but if we don't have enough power, we will not get anything. So let's try to collect trade here. He will get in a minute. And let's go back to trades tab, and we can see we are earning 1.69 right here. That's just from this node here. And I'm going to, yes, I clicked until our merchant came to this trade node. He's right here collecting. You can see his icon here, and this increased by little. So in the beginning, if you are a smaller nation, you will probably collect from trade from your main trade node, or if you have two trade nodes going into your you will transfer from that one also, but in this case we can't do anything. If I was playing with Castile, I would probably transfer from this invisible trade node here, and I will transfer from this trade node here. And if I was Castile, I would have ships, and there is a special type of ships that we can't even see because we don't have a sea next to us, but it's light ships and they increase trade power in the trade node. And that's about it. What I do, I usually just click sending merchants until I get like increased income. So I test for 2-3 months, about a year, if I have more merchants, and see what makes the most sense. I think there is a complete tutorial from, I forgot the name of that guy, but he explained in details about math of the trade and everything, and methods you need to use, but I don't bother with that, and I did world conquest, so yeah, I mean, you can use it. It will be better for you if you learn that, but I just play for fun and not to like make spreadsheets and stuff like that. And that's about it about trade nodes. Woo, that was quick. So let's go to war. As I mentioned before in the last video, we are probably going to go to war with Teutons, and we have truce with them. You can see that in this field here. We have truce with them until January 1450. So before that we can declare war, but that wouldn't be a good thing, because if you have all the DLCs, there is this field here. I'm not sure is it showing before, I mean without DLCs, but if you are to declare an unlawful war, which in this case would be breaking truce, and we have no casus belli, we didn't fabricate claim on Teutons, that would mess our nation completely. We will lose 7 stability, which is not even possible, but we will hit rock bottom with -3 stability, and we will get +7 war exhaustion, which will mean +7 national unrest, which will mean more rebels, which will probably break our country. But the most important thing about declaring unlawful wars is that everyone will hate you. As you can see here, this will cause Poland to suffer between 8 and 139 aggressive expansion. And all of these red numbers mean everyone will hate you. If you see a number that's -51, so aggressive expansion modifier with some countries -51, they could possibly join coalition against you. So that will happen when 5 or more nations have more than less than -51. aggressive expansion because of you, and they can join in coalition and they can declare war on you, and if you try to attack one of them, all of them will join. And as you can see here, there's like 159 nations that will probably join coalition, and we will not survive that. I just wanted to show that, but we will not declare war against Teutons that way. There is a different way that we are going to do that, by the event Poland is special. In the meantime, we will probably get the event for Moldavia. There is event for that, and we are going to prepare in the meantime for that specific war. As I mentioned, we already have Lithuania by our side, Moldavia. Bohemia will probably not help us, but the point is we need to prepare for war. So you can select your units as in every strategy game, and you can move them by provinces. So we can move from here to here, from here to here, from here to here using this path. I think the best way to start is with military tab. So these are our units. This is our infantry unit, and this is our knights, our cavalry unit, and we will have cannons later when military tech is level 7, yes. And these are different modifiers that you will get with ideas, technology and stuff like that. You can see until we start a war, I can't actually show you the phases and everything, but there are 2 different phases in EU4. So when we fight someone, there is a dice roll for fire phase, shock phase, fire phase, shock phase, etc, etc. And the more we have damage in one phase, the more we roll in one phase, the more damage we deal to the opposing force. But I will show you that when we actually get into battle. These are different modifiers that impact on your different on your units, basically how well they behave in battle. Military tactics is how well you can hover over everything. Military tactics is reduces damage your unit take in combat. Discipline basically increase damage dealt by you and reduce damage dealt to your units. For defense, I'm going to talk about forts when we fight Teutons. Cavalry to infantry ratio. Basically in EU4 you can't have more, for example for Poland, you can't have more than 50% infantry in one stack of units. Here, if you hover over unit, you can see we have 8... Did I say more than 50% infantry? Maybe. More than 50% cavalry over infantry. So we have 8 infantry and 3000 cavalry here. We can add one more cavalry unit, but if we have one more over 50%, cavalry will be less effective. That means a lot in battle, so pay attention to that. You can see here how much cavalry you can have. Combat width, that is battle in EU4 is I can't explain everything without battle. When we start a battle, I will show something. We have 3 out of 3 active forts. I'm going to show that in a second. Active army tradition increases and decreases over time depending on different modifiers, but the better army tradition, the better generals we have, and our army will fight better and siege faster. And this is our morale of armies depending I'm going to skip over that also. This is our force limit modifier. We currently have 21 out of 27 units. You can build over force limit, but the more you go over force limit, the more expensive it is. So generally you will stick to force limit or below that. Navy tradition, it doesn't bother us because we don't have sea. We can't go to sea in the summer. So about forts, I mentioned we have 3 active forts. There is a special map mode where you can see forts. When I find it, fort level, yes. So in geographical map mode, fort level, you can see all the forts on map, and if you hover over them, you can see which level are they. So for example, this one is level 2 fort, and this one is level 3. Why is this one level 3? Because this is your capital. I didn't mention that before, right? I didn't. This is your capital. You can see your capital if you click on your nation. Let's start from the beginning. Click on your nation, click on your shield. It will bring you to your capital. And capital you can see by hovering over, clicking on it, and there is small crown in here, and this means this is your main trade city in this trade node. Capital also has this crown right here. It's barely visible. I lowered some details, so maybe there is something else there. Back to forts. Forts work like that. You need to siege fort with your army to conquer this province, and that will take some time. And each fort has a zone of control. So if this one here doesn't have a fort, and you need just one regiment, just 1000 units to siege it, and it will happen pretty quickly. But if you go with those 1000 units here, this fort will unsiege the province. You will see that when we start a war. Oh, this is difficult without actually fighting a war. So I'm going to actually let the time passes, and I will skip to the given part. If we get some event in the meantime, I'm going to pause it and I'm going to talk about that. But for now, until we get to the point of war, I'm going just to leave the game running. Actually, before we do that, let's do it like this. Let's learn how to build units. To build units, as I said before, you need to have a 50% cavalry in regards to infantry. So if we build one more cavalry here, you can see 3 cavalry and 7 infantry. If we build one more cavalry here, that will go over 50%. So let's go build one more infantry here. We can do it like this. And if we click here, that will immediately start building one regiment of 1000 men. And that cost us, as you can see here, 10 ducats. And in the small green letters below, you can see 22, number 22. So that means one unit is currently being recruited, and you can see that right here. And there is another way to do it. You can click on province, and you can click recruit regiments, and click on whatever you want to build. But there is also a third one, and that one is the easiest one. Right here in the productions tab, there is our units and there are mercenaries. Mercenaries do not waste your manpower. So if you are low on manpower, you can actually build mercenaries, but they are quite expensive. And when they get damaged and they need to refill, they will cost more. So if you compare, our regular infantry costs 10 ducats and 0.21 ducat a month, and mercenary costs 26.5 ducats and 0.53 a month, which is like 2.5 times more. So unless you are low on on manpower and you are fighting big war, you will probably use your own manpower. I'm going to build this unit, and if you keep this screen open, you can see the unit being built, and you can also see it here. Let's go back from this. You can also see it here. It will be built in May 8, 1445. So I'm going to let time passes until we get that event and until the unit complete recruiting. Okay, we now got event for Moldavia that I mentioned before that will probably happen. And basically, with Moldavia, there is a chance that Moldavia can become your march. I forgot the exact chance. There is a wiki page on EU4. I think it's like something 50% they will become our march. Yeah, March is basically vassal that is not paying you money but has more military power. They have better morale and they don't waste money on you, giving you money, but spending on their own soldiers. So they can be a meat shield between you and your rival and some other strong nation. So there is a chance AI Moldavia decides by scripted event to become our march, or they can decide to become Hungary's march, or they can decide to actually tell both of us, screw you guys, I'm going to deal with this myself. So we can actually try to help them with money or manpower, or we can try not to intervene. About these kind of events, if you have two options, money or manpower or admin power or whatever it tells you to give, just pick what is not the current issue with you. So if you have enough money and low manpower, you will go with give the money, and vice versa. You know, you understand me, you are smart guys. So we are going to fund Roman's effort with coin, and we will see what happens. They will probably decide. Yes, Roman of Moldavia has successfully seized the throne with Polish support. Excellent. So now, what happened? Without almost any action, just because RNG gods are looking fine at us, we got another body. So let's go back to diplomatic screen and we can see Moldavia is a march. So maybe now is the best time before war with Teutonic Order. God, are we going to actually fight a war in this video? Maybe it will be an hour long, but I didn't make difference between PUs and vassals and marches. So if we go in subjects tab, we can see 3 different nations. Moldavia is our march, Mazovia is our vassal, and Lithuania is in personal union. As a march, as I said, they are not paying us any money, you can see here, and they have they will probably build more troops if we give them money and leave them be, but they serve as a meat shield. As I said, we can't integrate marches unless we revoke them, and that will lower our stability by 1. And then after we revoke march, we need to wait for 10 years to pass, and we can then annex them. On Mazovia, we already see Annex Vassal button, because they are not march, but yeah, they are not that strong military-wise, and they are giving us 39.4% of their monthly tax, depending on a lot of modifiers. Lithuania is also not paying us money. They have completely different economy and manpower pool from us, and they can only be integrated after 50 years. Or there is a chance, if your ruler dies and you have a high diplomatic power, you can actually just integrate them, and that depends on basically mostly luck. So yeah, you need to take that in your mind when thinking what to do with your vassals. Should you make them a march? Are you planning to annex them pretty soon? Do you About PUs, you don't have that much of choice about them. You will get them through war or through events, but you do not, I mean, attack nation and say you will be my PU. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm talking. Anyway, we have Moldavia as a march, Mazovia as a vassal, Lithuania as a personal union, and Bohemia as an ally. So let's go to that war with Teuton orders. Teutonic order, I hope the event will fire soon. Let's see. Okay, we might not get to war in this in this video. Sorry for lying about you, but there is so much to talk about. So I got an notification that Pomerania is asking for military access from us. Pomerania are these guys here, and I wanted to show you how does it look when other nations are fighting between each other, and how it will look for us. But Pomerania, something like that, is asking for military access, as I said. If we click on it, it says they are at war with Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Holstein. So it doesn't bother us. If we give them military access, I will leave this going through. Actually, it will pass. If we give them military access, it will increase their opinion about us by 10. If we decline, it will reduce it by 10. So we will accept it. They will go to war against Denmark. We can see, if we right click on nation, we can see war. It's always first here. At war with Denmark, Sweden, Norway, defender against Denmark in Danish conquest of Goldingen. Danish conquest of Goldingen. You can find that that province like this if you search it manually, or you can click here, find it, and just type Goldingen, and it will bring you to that province. Other way to see who are they war with, if you click just on one province, you can hover over these flames, and you can see Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Holstein. Denmark is the leader because they are first here, and if you click on Denmark, you can see current war, Livonian Order, Riga, Teutonic Order, and Pomerania. So from this here, you can conclude that Denmark attacked Livonian Order, and they won this province. Livonian Order, if you click on them, you can see who they are allied with here. They are allied with Riga, Teutonic Order, and Pomerania. So, by attacking Livonian Order, Denmark caused their allies to join in defending Livonian Order. But Denmark has Sweden, Norway, and Holstein. Similar to us, Denmark has Sweden and Norway under PU, and Holstein is their vassal. So, if we click on diplomatic map mode and on Denmark, you can see like this. You can do the same in different way. And yes, that's about it. I also wanted to show it to you. I'm going to let the time passes. In the meantime, you can see here I sent diplomat to improve relationship with Bohemia. And you can see here, you can first see here if you hover over it, it has been improved by 54 until now. And let's wait for the next monthly tick, 56. It goes by 2 or 3 depending on different modifiers. This relation can be improved by 44 more, estimated to be done by July 1451. And if you click on Bohemia, you can see over here improved relations plus 58 until now. The other thing I was doing in the meantime is building spy network in Hungary. Let's stop. It's already 22, but I already built one spy network, one claim. You can do that by also clicking diplomatic map mode, and you can see stripe yellow lines. It says here Poland has a claim on this province. I just built that claim a minute ago, but I'm going to do the same right now. You can do it from clicking on the province. There is a field here, fabricate claim, or you can right click on the nation and scroll down to fabricate claim, and you can pick all the available claims, provinces bordering you, and pick one and just click fabricate claim. I'm going to show you both ways, but you can see here it will increase but by 1.77 depending on spy detection in Hungary, their rival, that will mean spy network is building faster. And they can also use a special trick which AI loves to use, and that is counter-espionage, because they will waste one diplomat just sitting in your country and reducing spy network construction by 50%. They love to do that, you will notice that. But let's wait until it hits 25, because as you noticed, for the next claim we need 25, and for the one after that we need 30. But let's wait for the next one. 25 right about now. So we can do it like this. I'm going to go diplomatic. You can see we border these two provinces. So if we right click on Hungary, fabricate claim, those will be the provinces we can pick from. And as it says here, the claim will last for 25 years. If it expires, you need to build the claim once again. So pay close attention if some claim is about to expire and you are planning to attack some nation, just so you don't waste that window of opportunity. But anyway, we can do it like this, from fabricate claim right here, or we can click on a province and fabricate claim. And how are we going to choose which one? Right here you can see development. The higher it is, the more value of provinces is. So usually general rule of thumb is to pick the higher dev province. Click, click. While Hungary might be suspicious of the documents we've produced, it's still enough to justify war if we so wish. So if we right click on them and try to declare war, let's see just this screen for now, and we have conquest casus belli for this province that we just claimed, and we can pick the other one, and we can pick a different casus belli, which I will not talk about right now. I think this is enough. Sorry about lying about war. I will try to, for the next video, I will try to get to actual point of war, and then I will start recording so you can see what's happening. So, as always guys, thank you for watching, thank you for liking if you click like, and if you really liked it, hit subscribe. If you really liked it, hit subscribe, and bye bye.